this relationship of enjoyer and enjoyed, master and servant between the Supreme Lord and his part and parcel souls, all of us, is not like that of the ordinary relationship between master and servant, where the master is exploiting the servant and extracting a lot of things out of him. On the other hand, this relationship is a very loving relationship, a giving relationship, not an exploitative one. The actual example given in the Shastras is just like the different limbs of the body are there. They are all connected to the stomach in such a way that all of them have to serve the pleasure of the stomach. They have to give the right kind of food to the stomach. The hands, legs, eyes, ears cannot eat food on their own. But when they work coordinatedly and put food to the stomach and satisfy the stomach, all of them get energy. That is the way the human body is designed. Now, we cannot say that the stomach is very exploitative, it is eating all the food. No, the way the connection between the stomach and the different limbs of the body is designed is in such a way that by giving satisfaction to the stomach, the entire body gets satisfied, it gets nourished. In a similar way, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is the basis of the whole creation. And simply by satisfying him, by serving him, we become satisfied. Independently, when we try to satisfy ourselves, independent of Krishna, then we get into a diseased condition of life. Then we want to enjoy everything that we see around us. A product of that perverted desire to enjoy, which constitutionally is not possible for the living entity, manifests itself in the form of lusty desires. What is the lusty desire? That a man feels for a woman, or a man feels for another woman, or a woman feels for another woman, or a woman feels for a man. What is that lusty desire? The basic principle of that lusty desire is, if I unite with this man or this woman, I can enjoy. There is a pleasure there for me in it. So the basis of that attraction is selfish enjoyment, independent of the Supreme Lord. And it is that attitude which is demoniac. That it is called demoniac. Why? Because of the sense of a desire to enjoy independent of the Supreme Lord. I don't want to give pleasure to the Supreme Lord. I myself should enjoy. That sense of attitude is called demoniac. On the other hand, if the desire is to please the Supreme Lord in all our activities, and we don't seek enjoy, how I can enjoy in this, how I can enjoy in that, how I can enjoy in this, how do I exploit this person so that I can enjoy? How do I exploit nature so that I can enjoy? How do I exploit these material objects so that I can enjoy? How do I exploit the sense objects so that I can enjoy? This kind of mood that is there is independent of the pleasure of Krishna. On the other hand, if our mood is, I don't want to enjoy all these things, I want to utilize everything in Krishna's service. If you are not looking to exploit and enjoy in this material world, there is no question of lusty desires towards the opposite sex or the same sex. Either way, that desire to enjoy the other person, independent of the Supreme Lord, is actually arising out of our desire to dominate over other living entities, to utilize other living entities in our pleasure. So when a man gets attracted to a woman also, what is the feeling? Oh, if I get this woman, I can enjoy. That means that woman becomes an object of enjoyment for you. Similarly, if a man gets attracted to another man, there also what is the spirit? The spirit is, I can make this person, this man, an object for my enjoyment. So whether it is homosex or heterosex, either way the mood is the same. What is the mood? The mood is, I can utilize this person as an object of my enjoyment. and therefore that attitude is demoniac. But at least the scriptures have given an opportunity to vent that attitude in a proper way in the relationship between a man and woman, where you can give vent to that lusty desire by uniting with by a man uniting with a woman for the sake of producing progeny who will become devotees of Krishna. So there is an opportunity to dovetail that lusty desire also in the Supreme Lord's service. There is a window of opportunity given, because it is not possible for everyone to overcome that lusty desires in the heart. So if you are not able to overcome, then there is this opportunity that, okay, you engage that in producing children who will, and nurturing those children so that they become devotees of the Supreme Lord. So that engagement of lusty desire in the service of the Lord by producing children is accepted as not a demoniac attitude, but a proper attitude. That is why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dharma viruddho kamosmi bharatarshava. I am lusty desire which is not against dharmic principles.